The comic book and manga world. My name is G, and I'm here to talk about the June 2nd, 2025 FOC. I work for Penguin Random House, so the titles that you'll see today are those that we can sell internationally. Aside from this YouTube channel, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and on X at PRH International Comics, where we'll post some news and updates on those channels. So we'll go ahead and get started with my picks for this week. And first off, we actually have a full-colored webtoon title. This is Werewolves Going Crazy Over Me, Volume 1. So we have the main character whose name is Olivia, and she stumbles upon this very handsome man who's bleeding in an alleyway, and she never really expected her life to turn up this way because she's a single mom dealing with her child's chronic illness, and the last thing on her mind is romance until she locks eyes with this man who is a CEO of a powerful pharmaceutical company, but who has turned to this experimental drug, and she encounters him bleeding on the streets and with the desire to help him and gets her entangled with him. But for him, his name is Damon. He's desperate to suppress his primal urges, and when he catches Olivia's scent, he realizes that she actually might be the cure towards his fading strength. But it's a question of can he find her again, because the first time they met was a chance encounter, and it's also a question of like, will she able to understand the desperate plight that he's going through as well on his end. And so spicy manhwa romance for all the fans who are into that. And I'm very much excited for this. So this goes on sale in August. Next up is actually my cover picks for this week. And first up is Captain America issue number 1. This is the Ben Harvey cover. And so this is a new launch of Captain America. We have Chip Zdarsky, Valerio Schiti, and also Frank Martin as the creative team. So we have Steve Rogers, who, as you know, wakes up in ice, but the world has changed very significantly this time around. In this case, Captain America meets a younger version of Dr. Doom, who's a dictator taking over Latveria. And so Steve would have to learn how to take down this dictator. So I chose this particular cover because I don't know, the angle, the city streets with like the screens that show the American flag as the backdrop. I don't know, something about this just pulled me in. And of course, because I'm very much interested to see Chip Zdarsky's take on this run. So yes, my pickup for this FOC. Next up, we have Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This is the sequel. This is the Rite of Spring issue 1, and I chose the Scotty Young variant. And so this is the follow-up sequel, which will have 6 issues for this Eisner-nominated, or the previous Beneath the Trees is a Eisner-nominated hit. It's been 8 years since we have Samantha Strong, this bloodlusting brown bear, cute brown bear, but very deadly, who drove down into the city, kidnapped this young but kind duck, dissected his body, buried pieces in the woods, as you can see on the cover here. So the duck's family has sought justice, but this brown bear, Samantha, was very smart about it in covering her tracks. But back then it was the 80s, so she could have gotten away with it. But 8 years later, almost a decade later, it's not the 80s anymore. We have the era of the internet, where it's really hard to keep secrets in this age. And so those who had lost loved ones to Samantha Strong and her massacres, they haven't given up on justice. And so we have this sequel story where it's basically a reckoning of Woodbrook with Samantha Strong the Deadly Bear, and we have writer and artist, of course, Patrick Horvath coming back to this, and of course we have the legendary Scotty Young as the variant cover that I particularly chose, but there are fantastic other variant covers for this program, so highly recommend checking it out. Next up, we have Bronze Faces issue number 4 with this beautiful cover from the cover done by Chris Visions. And so I mentioned this before, but just a little bit of a in case you haven't watched the previous videos. But essentially, what this is we have 3 childhood friends, Timmy, Sango, and Wonka, who reunite on the eve of the British Museum's historic purchase of the works of Timmy's father, who's a seminal Nigerian artist. And so Timmy has been invited as this guest of honor as the museum is heralding this triumphant acquisition. And so this trio of friends um, decide to do this, to essentially uh, plan this brazen heist of cultural theft. So to give you a little bit of background, the Benin bronzes, which were looted from Benin City, which is modern day Nigeria, was taken by British forces. And so the largest collection today that you can see is part of the it can be found in the British Museum. So this story is essentially a heist of these friends go on this who plan this heist in a way to take those artifacts back. And we have these all this author, this creative team who are drawing not only from historical references but their Nigerian heritage to craft this story. And so, yes, if you haven't read it, you should pick it up. Again, this is issue 4. Something about the cover really draws to me. I love the way that it looks. It's beautiful, and had to spotlight it for this FOC. And then, of course, my piece of news for this week, we have Stay by My Side After the Rain, and we have the manga available to purchase, but also there is going to be a live action adaptation that is coming in, that is releasing in July, and you'll see those actors' faces on the screen here. I'm very much excited. Um, if you don't know, I pretty much will watch any live action drama adaptation because I love it. So this definitely I'll be watching. And I read volume 1. I need to go back and continue reading this, but essentially what this is about is we have this main character, Kanata, who feels like he's living under a storm in a way, where like everything in life is gray and his life feels very unfulfilled. And he works this typical office job. He's closeted as well. And he's convinced that this is his life, that, this is just the way things are. These monotonous days that he experiences are suddenly interrupted when he reunites. And the way he reunites with his old classmate is it's a rainy day. There's this sh really cute stray cat who's, getting wet from the rain and so and shaking in fear, and the cat is all cold, and he meets this stranger on the streets, and both both of them, this woman and himself, are trying to like help this poor little cat. And so they take the cat into her work, which is like a nearby restaurant, and that's when he meets his former classmate in that particular scenario. So the cat brought them together. And so his old classmate, it's just old feelings start stirring up. This is the guy that he had harbored hidden feelings for. And Kanana, in this moment, had finally realized, oh, this is the sunshine that, like, this is the sunshine that I was waiting for in his dreary gray life. And so this reunion of sorts is a way for them to start to get to know each other again, because it's been a while since they both talked. And so essentially a story about second chances of finding love, especially for the one that got away. And yeah, it's incredibly cute and fluffy for those who love that. That's me. Yes, as you can tell, I very much am excited for the live action, but also very much enjoy the manga. And that's it for this week. As always, I enjoy doing these videos. So check out our other videos that we have on this channel and tune back in for next week. And as always, thank you so much for listening in, and tell us down below in the comments what you'll be picking up for this FOC. Bye, everyone.